Do I seem angry? Sorry, I think I'm just lonely. I've been riding this mad wave of my own for 4.5 years now, see, and no matter where I turn, I never get heard. Everyone just keeps ignoring me. I beg 'em to listen, but they'll do anything to keep missing the point. Sticking their fingers in their ears, singing, la 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 la, we can't hear you. I've been around the world, and it's all the same. Doctors, scientists, even the yogis. Everyone's playing the fear game. My family think I've gone mad. Some of my friends too, they've drifted away. People really don't like change, eh? My diagnosis was a delusional disorder, maybe bipolar, definitely not well. I'm thinking maybe I'm a dimension forder, solar-powered creature done me living in hell. I'm thinking maybe I can just feel, in a world gone numb. And it's not just me who needs to heal, something for sure we're doing wrong. There was this girl. She was the only person who'd ever seen me, but it seemed she couldn't quite bear what she saw in me. Last I heard, she was trying to break free. Well, at least she could see. She was living in chains. I wonder what happened to her. Whether she was brave and decided to change, whether she just topped herself. I saw the whole world in that girl. Told the doctors I had this thing going on in my face, but they didn't care, they didn't believe me. I'm pretty sure I scared them, actually. I watched them stare off into space as they told me I was crazy, gave me all these drugs that turned my brain hazy. Made me think. Made me wonder. Why do I have to be here? Part of me wishes I was 6 feet under. But no, fuck that. I'm alive and I'll do it my own way. This thing ain't nothing but a mind game anyway. So I got on a plane and flew to the highest hills I could find. Mighty fine, Himalaya. Biggest range this rock's got. I knew from the very beginning there was something I needed to remember. Something we've all forgot. What is it? Words. Thoughts. Feelings. There's something bubbling up. It's waiting over the horizon, and I got to say I've been patient for years now, but that prize, it's sitting right there, and secretly, well, I've always had my eyes on it. I walked up and down these big old mountains, felt the sounds in me ring out from the temples. They brought me to my knees. I wanted to shout into the cosmos, that thing I forgot. I think I remember it. But please, tell me, what do I do now? I looked up, saw the stars in the eyes of my friend, Mars on one side of his face, Venus on the other. I could feel time coming to its end and space. I see we're the ones who create it. I heard the voice of our Father from the skies above and felt the weight of love I have for my mother pulling me down. It was heavy as lead. The earth. She put my feet back on the ground and whispered to me. She said, I can see it in your eyes. You're done with this disguise. Come home now. I saw a vision in my mind, a painting painted at the dawning of time. There was a dove who flew in the direction of freedom. I heard the quiet sounds, too, from the monk as he walked by. Om mani padme hum, om mani padme hum. Come. Now, did I sign up for this? It's exciting, I'll give it that, but I've got to say sometimes I wish I didn't always have to make my own way through. Don't you? Wish we could come together. Wish we could make peace in us forever. Wish we could release in us all this fear. It's clear it's not doing us any good. It's done its job, made us tough, but I've had enough. We're meant to be soft. We came here to feel. That's one thing we forgot. I was standing in the clouds, cold and wet, wondering how did I get myself into this? Which way now? North, south, east, west? I looked at my friend again. Words from his lips came straight from the mouth of Mercury. Neptune rained down with heavy drips. Pluto dropped off the list, defying category completely, and Saturn. It ran rings around us both. What is this man? A spirit? A soul? I can only guess, but I think so. We went higher, walked beyond the tree line and up into the snow, talked about poetry and art and how far humans have travelled from the truth of our hearts, how far we are from home, how maybe the whole thing's fated. He told me months later sometimes it's just so hard he thinks of putting a gun to his head and shooting himself dead. He hasn't though, and I'm glad. He's my friend. But I get it. This place is a bit difficult for me to bear too. Everyone's brainstorming, but sticking tight to what we've tried 10,000 times before, and it's the same story, flawed. It doesn't lead us anywhere new. I'm getting ripped apart because I can see we were born of the stars and we near enough forgotten all that we are. What am I supposed to do? Ask the question. Are we souls, spirits, dreamers from afar, or clients, patients, demons of a world turned dark? Are we here to awaken? To love each other, to be artists and know what it means to be free? Or are we here to make money, stick up some pictures of our faces, keep running, maybe watch some more TV? This thing going on in me, nobody's ever known of it before, they say. They reckon it's all in my head, but they've lost their way. Every day they get more confused. Never doubt their knowledge though, do they? Their arrogance, it does keep me amused. To be fair though, it nearly kills me too. When you've spent your whole life in pain, and you've got the physiological proof of letting go of shame pummeling out of your face, you've got the truth of what it means to surrender, but hardly anybody's brave enough to hear the words you've remembered, like nobody wants to know. Tell you what, can't blame me that I just wish sometimes I could go. The shape I'm in, it ain't ever been matched. Skewered into myself I am. It's so strange. At one point I hatched this plan to wake up the whole world, shake up this dozing land, bring healing to the people of the earth, do what I can to get this girl. I'll try my hand at playing Jesus, I thought. Tell everybody the truth. It really seems, though, nobody wants to hear it. Do you? It's funny. Whole point is he brings justice, takes on the Antichrist and gives the world back to the righteous. You'd think people might quite like it. Sorry, what? You think you're the Messiah? Well, it's a state of mind, isn't it? And I've got this fire burning through the left side of my head. I've had all this pain for ages. My body's been laced with, and all this shame I've carried with me since I was a kid, everywhere I've been. Oh, yeah. And did I mention? I'm shape-shifting. I've got all these insights that fell upon me to do with the passage of time, how it was only ever something we made up inside, how we lost touch with the beat and the breath and the body, our left and right, how they got all misaligned. How none of it was wrong, but it was never meant to last forever. An intention we set that we'd be split apart, go deep into the mind and away from the heart, so when it all got too much to carry, we'd have to let go. From the very start, all we wanted was to come back together. You stay humble. You see, when the storm comes through, a house built on sand was made to crumble. It was never going to stand for false foundations. No reason a world wouldn't be the same too. I thought I might explode, you see. I had such a bad headache. I said, okay, show me whatever I need to see for this to change, and just like that, I was wide awake. I could finally articulate this thing I've known forever. Oh my God! I'm carrying this massive fucking weight. I'm clever, though, and I found this place to put it. Spread it to my face with so much subtlety nobody would see me for what I am when they looked at me. When I was a kid, I held back a few tears. It was all a bit shit for quite a long time. These words got thrown at me every day for years, and they twisted me through my mind. Nearly gave me brain damage, too. Doctors reckon it was just an infection, though, that I picked up at the pool, so they chopped open my head, drilled a hole through my skull, and sucked it out with a vacuum cleaner. There you go, they said. We've fixed it. But we're living in a lie, and you know it. I can see it in your eyes. We've mixed up quick fix for health, confused heaven and hell, and built a world where you're not even allowed to cry, not allowed to be sad. Someone sees you in tears, they're like, here, take these. All this emotion you want to express, we've got a magic potion for that. Can you guess what it's called? Dunno. Toughen up, shut up, take the drugs, stay calm, don't be alarmed, go to work, stay numb, stay dumb, keep your mouth shut, look down. Don't look up. We've been tricked into snoozing, refusing to feel all this sadness inside. Wanting anything less than radical freedom at the end of the world is nothing but madness, I think you'll find. I'm done with this trick. I'm done being thick-skinned. I'd rather be crying in a heap than lying to myself through my teeth. Thing is, when I was a kid, my ears couldn't bear what I was being made to hear. I couldn't take the shapes, the sounds made in me. I got all flinched up, went a bit cold, my soul got scared, and I set off into the world of my own. I got this. I can hold this. I'm really strong. And fuck me, I wasn't wrong. But I've been walking this path for too long, and I'm not the only one. When are we going to grieve? When are we going to stop still, remember what we lost? Take a moment to realise we breathe. Wake up to the cost of living unconscious. When are we going to admit this whole world is a mass case of PTSD, and it's the reason so many people can't do anything but leave? When are we going to see what's right in front of our eyes? Stop denying the obvious truths of life. No, God, because you're rational. Where'd you get your definition of love from then? Dark depths of your mind. I think you might be suffering from quite a bad case of denial. This weight that pulls from my face, it's been holding me back forever. Not just pain, but a lack of pleasure. Turns out we're all on the spectrum. Till something puts it in perspective, though, we call whatever we've got normal. Me. I met a wizard one day. She showed me a trick with a mirror, then she switched back into a physio. It was too late, though. She'd let it slip. The truth was out, and my whole world flipped. I was laughing. Oh, my God, it was funny. I was crying, shaking, howling, my body breaking down. It sent me on a journey looking for the land of milk and honey. I started learning all about myself, but I realised if there's any such thing as mine, there can't really be anybody else. One rainy day in the Himalaya, I found out I was frozen, started melting, my face untwisting. Since then I've been vibrating and shape-shifting, and I've had this funny feeling I got chosen for something. Lived my life in fear of that. So scared. Couldn't have an orgasm until my head started collapsing and I became self-aware. Am I allowed to say that? Thing is, what anyone thinks of me, I just don't care anymore. Nothing to lose. I've lost my mind. What would it be in the end of time? I figure I might as well just let go of it all. Anyway, where was I? So I thought, oh no, I must be sick. I can't be Jesus. Life. It must be nothing but a dirty trick. Next thing I did was I wandered up to the markets, bought myself a brand new Stanley knife. I get it. I see it. I'll be off now then, I think. I went mad. It was quite bad, really. Slashed both my wrists, lay back in the bath, it turned red, I closed my eyes. Forget the prize, I said. Just release me. But am I crazy? Or am I sane? In an insane world? Thing is, I think I've come to my senses. I think I'm sentient, waking up to how tense and clenched up I am. Finding myself in a place built by fear. You talk about awakening, you get looked at with hatred by someone so numb. They've never even noticed they're here. I'm a dreamer, you see. I found love. Turns out it's not that different to hate. Just depends which way you take it. Faith or doubt, contraction or expansion. There's looking in, or there's projecting out. There's a quality between all human beings, or there's a contract which comes with a handful of masters and a world full of slaves. We're souls or we're soulless. Maybe it's time we choose. Maybe it's time we turn around, see the sun leave the cave. Enlightenment. How it's held up as a goal for the few while everyone else is weighed down heavy with chains. Bit strange that we'd accept that you think. Bit unfair. Bit like everyone's so scared because we don't know where we are in space and we've lost all trace of truth. Built a world on trauma and we justify everything according to a word that means nothing at all. Normal. You know these words? They're not even mine. They come straight from her. Do they heal you or do they hurt? I know it might sound strange, but the two things are the same. They're shapes we don't make. Give you the feels, maybe too much, too fast. Hopefully it ain't too little, too late. That part of you that's asleep, they wake. They engage. The body just depends whether you're letting go or holding tight. They vibrate. Make you feel the tension, the moment, the only time that's ever existed, and we figured out this way to hold it in suspension. There's a darkness we're carrying. We've had it since the start. It's our refusal to stop still, feel our hearts, and really think about why. All these good people dropping like flies because the way this place is built, it's not all right. What we've got here, this ain't no life. They know there's another world we could go to, and this one, oh, do you know? It's really lonely. Status quo is straight married, buy a house, have a baby. Yeah, that seems nice. What if you're gay, though? No money, don't like paperwork, and oh yeah, are we all about to go extinct? Maybe. It's lonely here on your own. We're a state of mind and we're all in it together. We've been running forever and I think it might be time we take a look inside. This big mess we're in, the whole thing was written. It ain't a political situation we have in our hands. Never was there any such thing. It's a question of will, of spirit, of whether we can take responsibility. I know you might be scared, but you're never going to be hitting the target if you're looking out there. These rising oceans and burning lands, all these words of our souls gone unspoken, and here I am. I can feel in my body the shaking sands, yet I pick up the paper and I see we're still crapping on about parliamentary motions. Stronger laws, better investment, more innovation, more and more and more. The whole thing bores me like you wouldn't believe. That thing I remembered is that the only path that's ever made sense is surrender. You know the social contract? It was agreed to through tacit acceptance. It just happened, unconscious, baselines, shifted, normal, drifted. Maybe all we need is to be lifted up into the clouds, hear a voice that says, shush, turn around, look now, tell me how. Do you think it came to this? There's something a bit funny going on. You can't deny it. The planet's on fire. Everybody's locked in their houses. We're ruled by an evil robotic Goliath. I say maybe I'll play the Messiah, tell the truth, save the whole world. And nobody wants it. The look on their faces, like I've just said, I'm going to masturbate in their bed, have sex with their mum, pick up a brick and throw it at their head. I just said I'm going to try and set us all free. I've got a problem with my ego, apparently. Really seems, though, people would rather stay in chains, live in hell and go up in flames than have someone tell them, guys, we fucked up. Climate change. It's a metaphor. Saying time, it's up. Anyway, I'm just going to keep saying what I want to say, going to keep shedding this weight that hangs heavy to my face till enough of us realise this world, it's a dream. And all is not quite as it seems, but not until we look inside will we find a solution. Only way out of this mess is the dissolution of everything we've built. Anything less is a projection of guilt. Original sin. It's the fear of God, fear of death, but when you really dive in, seems more like the fear of being alive in. A vessel we like to deny is sacred. There's this massive power in each of us, but you need to feel it to wield it, and you got to know your body, my body, this earth, they're all the same. It's only when you slow down do you feel it, and when you feel just how much it hurts. Us humans, we've forgotten something really big. And when you take normal, stick it on the shelf, set off on a journey into the self, look around and dig deep, you see we reap what we sow. We live by a story we ourselves wrote. The more you feel, the more you realise you just don't know. Our earth is dying and she's sending out a call. Our souls are crying with the same words. Let go. Let go. Just let go of it all.